happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update that you guys could probably already tell. It is going down. Just by that title alone, guys, you're definitely going to want to see this one as we got those ladies on the set. ABC's The View back at it again. There is no guest this time, so guess what? They're fighting amongst each other. We got Sunny hosting, we got Alyssa going back and forth, guys. Things went left very quickly is all I'm going to say. I'm excited to get into it, so not straight into it. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we even get into it, you guys, hit that like button. Also hit that subscribe button for your boy. And without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
AOC, she has been demonized by the right, and she's been demonized as this like too progressive, far left person. And I want to try to set the record straight, because if she is too progressive, then the Democrats really are going to lose the working class, because this is her platform. The key is.
And that's where I feel like they're lost. That the Democrats have already lost the working class, far gone. I mean, we seen that with this last election.
Really are going to lose the working class, because this is her platform. The key issues: healthcare for all people, affordable housing, rebuild the unions, federal job guarantee, free public college, create clean energy jobs, pay parental leave, and expand protections for the LGBTQ+ community. If that is too progressive for this country, then that's a problem for the Democrats, and that's a problem, quite frankly, for this country.
That used to be a description of a liberal.
But the devil's Medicare, healthcare for all should be an everybody issue.
But the devil's in the details, because a lot of this country does not support, for example, the Green New Deal, which would absolutely crush jobs across this country, wreak havoc on the economy.
It would create millions of jobs, actually.
It would actually make international travel virtually impossible to do because of some of the regulations that put in place. Universal health care. You should have, of course, anyone who needs emergency coverage, people should have catastrophic coverage, but most Americans think they want to have some choice and optionality in their health care. There's a reason Obamacare did not have the public option. That's not where the majority of the country is. I would argue that AOC is definitely too left for the majority of the country, but from my perspective as a Republican who didn't support Trump, this may sound weird, I think Democrats focus too much on Trump. People who were going to be with Donald Trump were.
And that's a great point that Alyssa's pointing out there, that the Dems definitely did a little bit. And when you look back at this election, it was always something, like every single time something went wrong and the Dems were getting blamed, Kamala was getting blamed, they would shift the blame straight to Donald Trump and say, well, think about what Donald Trump's not doing. What Donald Trump only has, a concept of a plan, and it just never made sense. They could never back up their stance. They focused almost solely on Donald Trump, and until they get over themselves and realize that, they're definitely going to lose more supporters, and more Democrats are going to go and shift towards the Republican side for sure, 100%.
This may sound weird. I think Democrats focus too much on Trump. People who were going to be with Donald Trump were going to be with Donald Trump. There needed to be more of a, this is who we are, this is what we're proactively fighting for. And I can think of 3 or 4 policies that were laid out by the vice president. She talked about this support for elderly parents. She talked about these first-time home buyer payments. But they need a
opportunity economy.
But again, that's a platitude. What does it mean?
Exactly, right there. Like these ideas and the word salads, we didn't really get true policies. And any policy that we did get, it almost seemed like it was a piggyback off of someone else, either Joe Biden, who she kept saying that she was going to, distance herself from, or it was just a rip off of something that Donald Trump had did or was doing. It just never was independent, or it showed who they were, so we didn't know what we were getting as a candidate.
Payments, but they need a
opportunity economy.
But again, that's a platitude. What does it mean? And I didn't know that by
a 90-page
But
white paper.
But in this world we live in, when you have 3 months especially, I don't know that people knew what she was for. And then a lot of her positions in 2020, she was on the complete opposite side of now. So I think you have to decide what is it, not just what you're against.
I have to say that I like what AOC says. It's very FDR.
It is.
It's very, most people in this country want all of those things. the people in the Senate and the Congress, they don't seem to pay attention to what the people actually want. They do to stay in office. They do whatever they have to do. But there's a thing the Democrats do that most politicians do. I think the Republicans did it back in the day with John McCain. It's like, it's your turn. Kamala's in position, it's her turn.
Yeah.
Joe Biden, he did not retire early enough so that there could be an open, what do they call it? Primary, exactly, thank you. That's a simple word, and yet
There goes Joy.
there would have been an open primary.
Yeah.
We would have seen what was out there a little bit more. You know, I saw this movie, The Conclave, about electing a pope.
Oh, that's a great
All of
movie.
the cardinals get together and they elect the pope. They don't say, oh, I like Giuseppe better than Irving. They vote, just like they should have done in the Democratic Party. It's just as bad as what they're doing with Trump, which is this loyalty oath that everybody has to take and bow down.
What, man? This stuff writes itself. You don't really have to make it up. Sooner than I say they always have to blame shift, put it all on Donald Trump. There's some weird loyalty oath to Donald Trump by his cabinet appointees, where they're just simply saying they're going to carry out their duties that Donald Trump put them in the cabinet for. It just does not make sense. I mean, come on, until they realize and they can get over that, they're going to continue to lose like they did this last election.
It's just as bad as what they're doing with Trump, which is this loyalty oath that everybody has to take and bow down and kiss his ring. Mm-hmm. It's not about who's the best person. It's about who do you feel is in the next in line to do the job with the Democrats and with the Republicans. And how many times can I kiss this guy's butt?
I promise you guys, I don't hear Joy Behar get long-winded or give us actual takes often, but when she does, she just says things that do not make sense. I mean, come on. She's saying it's not who's the best up, it's who's next in line. I mean, come on. That just does not make sense whatsoever. I'll just let her run with that.
Democrats and with the Republicans. And how many times can I kiss this guy's butt?
Well, I think Rahm Emanuel
No one's kissing butt.
hit it right on the head in an op-ed for the Washington Post. He had two parts that really kind of stuck with me. He talked about with inflation stinging, school absenteeism skyrocketing, students' academic scores plummeting, Democrats consume themselves in debates over pronouns, bathroom access, and renaming schools, and adopted terms such as care economy and Latinx to win over voters. And I think what it comes down to is oftentimes Democrats tend to tell people what to care about rather than listening to what they actually care about. Because
Bingo.
He goes on to say, they tiptoe around issues like crime, immigration, homelessness, and then they quote stats, while meanwhile there's an uptick in carjackings and you have to lock up deodorant in CVS.
Crime is down.
But you're doing
Boom. Bingo. Right there. That's exactly that. She's doing the exact same thing, with the economy. We're saying, it's tough out here. The nation was crying out during an election. Kamala, are you going to address the economic crisis that we're currently facing? Everyone kept on saying, especially that Jessica Tarloff, inflation is down, the country is doing well. Yeah, it's easy to say that from your luxury penthouse, rich, cushy lifestyle, but the nation is suffering. Donald Trump, the guy who actually answered those cries, said, hey, I hear you guys and we've got a plan. It doesn't make sense. They still don't hear themselves. Listen to Sonny.
crime, immigration, homelessness, and then they quote stats, while meanwhile there's an uptick in carjackings and you have to lock up deodorant in CVS.
Crime is down.
But you're doing exactly my point here. What happens is each time people show statistics, everyone's saying crime is a problem. That doesn't make them feel better when you say, but it's not.
If it's not their lived experience, the stat
But here's my weird little take on all of this. You know,
There she go.
neither side had much to say. The right didn't say anything about any of the things you guys are talking about. They didn't say.
What? I just knew she was gonna say something so far out of reality. Like neither. Now just saying that neither side said anything about economic state, freaking border crisis, the schools, the government's excessive spending. No one said anything on the right. I mean, and the landslide victory just came out of nowhere. That's all Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, his brilliant running mate were hitting on. They were hammering those points on, hammering. And that's exactly why we've seen the outcome of the 2024 election. I mean, come on. Neither side
had much to say. The right didn't say anything about any of the things you guys are talking about. They didn't say jack about any of it.
Right.
No.
The border and cost of living, they
yes,
did,
but no one remembers that the border.
Yo, I swear, Alyssa Farrah Griffin is working on her exit ticket off the show at this point, guys. Because, like, she's showing it more and more post-election. And also that sneaky Sarah Haynes. She's showing a little... I got sneaky suspicion that she also voted for Trump as well. I mean, come on. They're putting the reality on the set of The View. Listen to her. Hitting on the border. Like I said, they hit on that.
The right didn't say anything about any of the things you guys are talking about. They didn't say jack about any of it.
Right.
No.
The border and cost of living, they did,
but no one remembers that the border was something that Republicans and Democrats came together on and were prepared to do something about, and they didn't.
But 3 years in,
But you're missing. But you're forgetting.
Because Trump.
That gentleman who has been elected is the man who put the kibosh on his party, saying, "Don't do."
I was very critical of that, but for 3 years we were told it's not a crisis, it's not a crisis, and Americans were saying we believe it's a crisis.
But again, when you see that people have the work to do, and you don't acknowledge that the work could have gotten done had some people not put their hands in.
They held it over as a political issue.
So I'm just saying there are lots of things, but we got handed a lot of stuff.
Here we go, guys. I mean, come on. That right there is my point exactly. Like, they're going to find a way to put it all, blame shift to Donald Trump. If their dying breath, they're going to say it's Trump's fault. He's the reason why I'm on my last leg. I mean, it just does not make sense. That right there is Trump derangement syndrome. You got Joy Behar in the background. It's Trump. It was Trump the reason why the border is not secure. But we got Alyssa over here, proving a very valid point. It was 3 years. Nothing was done. Our border was wide open. We had, an influx, illegal migrants just flooding our borders. 3 years, and now it's Trump's fault all of a sudden. The border bill doesn't pass. I mean, make it make sense. It just truly never will, guys. Definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, what you can make of it all, man. I've got a sneaky suspicion there's a couple Trump supporters on the set of ABC's The View. Hop in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. And also make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If y'all enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one. We got